Welcome to This Week in Nerf, your source for first-party, third-party, and community Nerf news. I'm Adriana, and this week we have new availability, and some blaster leaks, and some new stuff from community makers. Let's see what we got. There have been posts all over the Nerf internet about the availability of the Takedown and the Charger, two of the newest entries in Nerf's rival line. For those who don't remember, the Takedown is an 8-shot shotgun, and the Charger is a 12-round semi-auto flywheel blaster. I am not sure if this release was a soft launch or if retailers just knew we were all talking about them already, but they are available now on Target. And some people were lucky enough to have them shipped already. And others were lucky enough to find them in person in stores like Mayer in the US and OG in Singapore. However, my shipping date from Target shows unavailable to ship until January 6th. So go out into the stores, look for them, and if not, January 6th, I guess. And in the world of community makers, this is the Radpup, a bullpup flywheel blaster from Rad Blasters. It uses a solenoid pusher, fan revamped motors, and some printed flywheels. And I think that the grip rev trigger is pretty interesting. I've never actually used a blaster like that, but I think that my fingers would get less confused. I'm not really a flywheeler. I use springers most of the time. With this design, I would be a little worried about it being back heavy with the solenoid and the battery back there in the stock, but I suppose that is better than front heavy. It's coming in at $175 for the kit. And I love this guy's aesthetic. So 90s, so cool. And speaking of aesthetic, he also released a Perses Hopper, styled like a super soaker. This giant thing gets it to nearly 300 round capacity for $70, which for that capacity and this awesome look, that's really not that bad. And it comes with a TPU lid with flaps so none of your balls go flying out all over the place. And he has some awesome fluorescent colors to choose from. I love when my toys really look like toys. Buff Daddy always keeps his eye on patent submissions, and that's why he posted on Dart Zone a recently submitted patent for the Dart Zone Giant Drum Flywheel. That is a bit of a mouthful, so we'll go with the name that Buff Daddy picked, Spartan. There's an image of a Spartan on the side, and it's a good name. Sounds good. I like it. We'll go with it. The first thing we're going to notice is this thing is huge. From the drawing, it should have 60 dart capacity. And just to put that in perspective, here's a very similar looking blaster. This is the Turbo Advance from X-Shot, and it holds 40 darts. So to hold 20 more than this is pretty incredible. And what makes this blaster really interesting is that the concentric drum will feed into flywheels. Now you notice this blaster also has a concentric drum. This is a pump action springer, not a flywheel blaster, and it has to solve the problem of alignment. And they do that by, you only fire around one ring at a time, and you use this switch, to switch where the breech is going in. The Spartan is a flywheel blaster, so it has to solve the problem a little bit differently. It has two pushers, and they both are going to push at the same time. But there's a mechanism inside the pusher that when it hits the solidness of the drum, it's just gonna like gently push back with some springs. The other one is going to go right on through, push the dart into the flywheels. And it's gonna alternate outer ring, inner ring, outer ring, inner ring. And that's a super, super clever solution. And so that solves the alignment problem with the pushers, but then what about flywheels? You need to put your darts right through the center of the flywheel or it's not going to go straight. So it looks like these are a bit tall. I do worry that that will impact some of our modding capabilities, since if they're going to be tall, they're probably going to be straight, and that probably won't get great grip on the dart. But we've solved these problems before. We're always going to solve these problems. I predict that this Spartan blaster will be insanely popular with HVZ. It has a giant capacity and load on the fly capability, And it's just really looking more and more and more like Dart Zone is a company that gets it. I feel like they understand the things that we are looking for in blasters when we buy them, especially for HPZ. This would be so good. I am so looking forward to learning more about this one. Hoping we'll see it at Toy Fair, maybe? Probably a bit early for that. Our next story is this beautiful blaster called Balance by Refling Swin. And this is made of a combination of CNC'd aluminum and SLS printed nylon components, and that comes weighing in at 2.2 kilograms. It's a springer that shoots short darts only, uses long shot spring, and can handle up to a 20 kilogram spring. It's got a side prime, which I personally love, and this one looks so smooth with the side prime. Normally there's a little bit of flexing in there and it gets a little wonky. This one is solid. There's no twisting, no flexing, just absolutely beautiful. They're claiming 213 FPS with Worker Gen 3s and 246 FPS with Sweet Orange darts. And they're currently using an Orange Model-Works Longshot spring, 8 kilograms. That part is still being tweaked, but these are for sale right now with more details to come, with reviews coming early next year. Tentative pricing is a little bit high, $835 USD before shipping and taxes. That is quite the hit to the wallet, but a gorgeous blaster. And that brings us to Mod of the Week. This is the Knockout from Toabog on Reddit. And when I first looked at it, I thought it was just a really clean paint job. The lines are crisp, and there's some interesting hidden patterns in there with the gloss and the matte clear coat. Everyone is modding these knockouts to shoot short darts. It's apparently super easy to do. It looks like you basically just shove a brass barrel inside and boom, you've done it. You've improved performance and you're shooting better ammo, hardly any effort. This one has a silencer to cover the brass. Always a good idea to cover up your brass. You don't want to go coring anybody. And a threaded coupler makes screwing on that silencer super easy and probably helps hold the brass in place pretty well too. And then after looking just a little bit closer, I was like, wait a second, where's the ball storage? Now it's dart storage, custom 3D printed parts that are available on Thingiverse for dart storage and covering up the holes required to cut that. And I really appreciate instructions on the Thingiverse too for showing where you can cut so you don't mess that up. I love when people put out their work into the world for free. It's a beautiful thing you're doing. So thank you for that, Toabog, for making this easy mod even easier. And the video of the week is from Yan Q. And this was posted on billybilly.com. This is the Shanghai Nerf Tactical Rabbit team playing at a game in China. And I haven't seen very much at all of how Nerf is played in China. And their venue is kind of interesting. It's like a maze. And I really feel like playing in a space like that would just feel super tense at every single corner. You never know what's going to be on the other side of that wall. And I also love that the walls are at different heights, so you really have to be careful to watch your back in there. Super cool footage. Thank you for sharing. And that is all the news that I have for you this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be here again next week, Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm getting really good at saying that. Whew. I am ready to sit down. Had a Nerf war. I'm tired. It's very late. I hurt my back a little bit, so laying down, that'll feel real good. I'll be better next week, though. Have a good night, everybody. Morning. It's morning when you're watching this. This is part 2 for the... Oh, I gotta make sure your computer's still on. With early review... for turning to... And community... We'll figure it out. We'll get it. We'll get it. I'm gonna go lay down now. Goodbye. I'm gonna fly away. I exited the wrong way.